Guys, welcome back to Channel Pause Window Cleaning, and today I have a very exciting video that I want to share with you guys, talking to you about water-fed poles. Now, there's a question that's kind of hard to answer, like what is best for you personally, but what I'm going to try to do in this video is kind of break down which pole that I have here and kind of tell you in a sense what's the pros and cons of it, and kind of just have you determine what pole is best for you. So now, what do we have today? We have Zero Trad 12 foot, we have the Zero M9, the Zero Micro, and then we have here the Zero Micro Ultra Light. Okay, you can kind of figure what the difference between this one and the Micro is, right? Because it's lighter. Now, one thing I want to say is that I did buy all these poles myself, except for the Zero Trad pole 12 foot. This one was a gift to me through windowcleaner.com. So I just want to say thank you guys very much. But kind of going into this question, you know, what pole is best for you? Now, let's just talk about each pole. What is the purpose of it? What is it used for, right? So we can kind of break that down. So this trad pole is a really good trad pole because essentially you can go up to 12 feet, right? And it comes in different colors. My wife wanted the pink one, so that's why we got this one. But essentially this is really good for like commercial work and like pretty much windows that are like kind of pushing it like 2 stories, kind of not really, you can't really go 2 stories, but it's like a, you know, a story and a half ish. And so this is a really good pole if you want to use this for like everyday jobs, like especially because it's light, right? It's like super light. But if you want to just do like commercial work or like storefronts, like I was saying, this is a really good pole. Also too, if you are doing like windows on the inside and it's kind of like a loft kind of, this is a really good pole to do that. But now what I say that this is like my go-to if I were to start all over with the water fed, I would probably say no, because a lot of windows that I do, it goes really high, but we'll kind of explain that later in the video. But the Zero Trad pole, so it's a good entry-level pole, but let's break down the other ones together. Now, this is kind of like an upgrade, the Zero M9. Now, why do I have the Zero M9 pole here? Now, this one was an awesome pole when I first started. This was a pole that gets me up to 21 feet, so we go from 12 to 21. I like it a lot because I can confidently do like 2nd story windows. It's a great, so like if you want to start, you know, you want to have something that can be a trad pole, kind of, you know, it uses the same mechanism, all 4 of them, so that if you want to do trad pole, you could use this as a trad pole, you know, with the squeegee and rubber and all that and a mop. But the thing is that with this one, it's a little bit heavier than this, right? But the thing is that this is a great pole if you want to do 2nd stories and below confidently. Okay, so now let's get into probably like my go-to for many years, this Zero Micro. Now, the Zero Micro is a great pole, but this Micro is very short, and what helps a lot is that this pole here is good for, like, let's say you have a car, like a regular car. I used to have a RAV4, so this was perfect to just kind of put it in there. I didn't have to worry about being so tall that I couldn't fit it inside my car. So it's a great pole in the sense that it's lighter than like an aluminum and all these other materials. Is carbon fiber. All of them are carbon fiber, by the way. But I really like this a lot because it's great in a sense that I can do any single job at any moment pretty much. So I can go up, this one goes up to 30 feet. So again, 12 to 21 to 30. Do I regret buying this pole? I would say no. This was like the best pole I've ever had, especially when you're cleaning really high windows. But again, I would say that it at times bends a little bit, so it's like especially if you're doing like in an angle, and it kind of is a little bit tough, but I really like it a lot. It's great. It's kind of like on the heavier side of all 3 of them. Actually, in the whole video, this is the most heaviest pole in the whole, I guess all 4 poles that I have here. But what I really like about it a lot is that it's a great go-to pole if you want to just get into it, and you can even like have this as an employee pole too, so that's pretty cool. You know, you can bang it around a little bit and it's not gonna, you know, break at any point. So I don't think I mentioned the prices so far in the video, but we'll kind of break down each one on that, but it's kind of going from the cheapest to the most expensive. Okay, so in this one we have the Micro Ultra Light. Oh, and I forgot to mention too, the Micro and the Micro Ultra Light, they also have carbon, this trad pole carbon fiber inside of it. So like, let's say for example, I wanted to just use it just as a trad pole, you can. So that's pretty cool about it. So it's like a 2-for-1. That's why I really like the Micro and the Ultra Light. But anyways, as you can imagine, this one, the Zero Micro Ultra Light, is the lightest that I have here. It's way lighter, I would say, than the Micro, and that's kind of the reason why I bought this pole. I was using this for, I don't know, like 2-3 years, and I was talking to my wife about it. I was like, you know, I want to get a new pole, not just because, you know, it's a new toy, a new tool, but I wanted something that I can, you know, kind of preserve my body for like the long run. And so that's why when I talked to her about this pole, she's like, I see the work that you do, 100% it's best to get this pole. And that's kind of why I bought it. Now, I've been using this for, I would say, almost a year now. It's shy, I think like 10, 11 months. And I do not regret it one bit. It's the best pole, but in the market, in my opinion. Now, there's a Destroyer, which I don't have here. Again, I'm just using stuff that I have. I don't want to give, you know, like, oh, this pole is the best and I don't even have it. I kind of want to give an honest review, but at the same time, I kind of wanted to test each one. And I'll be honest, like, there's just one-story jobs that I have. I'll just use the trad pole. You know, I just use this one instead of me dismantling this, and then having to take the tube out, you know, and do all that. Sometimes I just keep it simple. I just pull this out, the hosing and all that. I just put it in here, put it through the tube, and then I'm good to go. So it's really easy in that sense. So, but if like I said, if I didn't have this, I would just do this all the time, because I mean, it's not that heavy, right? But at the same time, you know, like if you're just doing one story and you're having something that goes up to 30 feet, doesn't really like make sense to me. So you know, you want to preserve your body, because especially if you want to make this a career, you want to make the best out of what you have, right? So now let's talk about price. Okay, price. Now, how much does this trad pole, right? 12 foot. There's different sizes, so the price varies, right, depending on the size. But here we have the trad. This is 200 bucks. The M9 is 480. Then the Zero Micro is 900, and then this right here is 1600. So as you can imagine, prices vary, and that's kind of why I wanted to make this video, kind of my thoughts about it. And again, if you were to start out, like if I had to choose between all four, I would say do not get the ultralight unless you have like a lot of extra money and you're like, hey, I want to do it and get the best from like the day one, you know, kind of like it's gonna, I think, like I said, my opinion, I think this is the best one. I know the Destroyer is like the high end of the high, but I kind of want something light. I'm not doing like 4 or 5 story buildings every day, so that's why I kind of wanted to focus more on the lighter end. And so this is like, I think, less than 5 pounds. It's not that heavy at all. Now, of course, the brush and like, you know, the hosing, you know, gives it a little bit more extra weight, but it's not that heavy compared to this. This is like really heavy. I guess I can give it kind of like an example. Like, look how light this is, right? Look how, see, it's kind of like, so this is much heavier than this, but all in all, I would say if you're starting off, I would say do not buy this right off the bat. My humble opinion, I would say to get the Micro. I think it's the best one because it's the best bang for your buck, because essentially these two poles are pretty much in this, and it goes even higher. So you can't really beat that, if that makes sense, because like I said, this one, you go on number 4, because it has numbers here. You go on number 4, you pull out 3, and this is the trad pole. But obviously you can tell I've been using this so long that it's already starting to fade, but I already memorized where the trad pole is. But again, you know, you can just pull it out. Look how easy that was, see? And you can use it as a trad pole. So again, it's easy just to have something like that like if you're doing like 2nd story, 3rd story and up, you always want to keep it like on the full with all the clamps. But then when you have, or all the poles I should say, but then when you want to just do like something simple, just use the trad pole, you know, like if it's 1 story. So it's been saving my back and my shoulders a lot. But yeah, I would say definitely do the Micro, and then down the line, you know, you're gonna understand what I'm talking about, that this is kind of heavy, but like it's not, because it's still carbon fiber. It's really light. It's like 6-7 pounds. I don't know, I have to look it up. I forgot to check before the video, but this is kind of on the heavier side. But this is like the best, I think, like entry level, go to, you know, pretty much do any single job. I have an extension pole, and that's another, I have a video about it. I did like a 4-story residential home. I never use that pole, the extension pole, to be honest. I just focus on 3 stories and below. But again, if I didn't have that extension pole, I pretty much can do every single job here in Southern California with just this pole alone. I don't need to worry about, oh, is my pole high enough? Because when I was first starting getting into window cleaning, I had a pole that was by Unger. It wasn't the Zero M9, but it was essentially this, and it was aluminum. It was an aluminum pole, and that thing sucks so bad. It was the worst pole that I've ever had. It was like super heavy. It was like double the weight of this, and because it was aluminum, because I would sometimes have to go on a weird angle and it would start to bend the pole actually inside started to bend. So like, you see how simple this is? Like, I can like just kind of like let go like that. The other one, it would be like getting stuck and I had to kind of force it. And there was one job that I didn't really like it. I mean, I liked the job, you know, it paid well, but I had to use a ladder, and then on top of that use a pole. So it was kind of like very weird. I mean, it was all safe and everything, but like, imagine getting like an A ladder and then having to like, yeah, or even a ladder itself, and having to like kind of reach over. It doesn't really work out the best, and that's why I say, like, for me personally, I would say go with the Micro. I know it's a bigger price point, but if you can't afford, or you don't, you know, think that it's worth the value, I would say the M9 will probably be your best bet. Essentially, this is very light. I think it's actually lighter. Well, actually they're about the same. Oh, yeah, they're about the same. Again, I have, you know, some, you know, the brush and stuff on it, but essentially the M9, this is like, goes up to 21 feet, so that's kind of like comfortably 2 stories, pushing a little bit towards a 3rd story. But you know, if anything, you can put a ladder. But again, if you're buying this, right, it's already what did I say, 480. This is 480, and then for like 400 bucks more, you get this one. So, you know, everyone's on a budget and everything, but again, it all depends. Like I said, if any job you go to, you're ready to go, I would say the Zero Micro will be your best bet. The M9 will probably be a good entry level, because you can also use it for a trad pole. And if you really just want to just go the best of the cheapest that, you know, only goes up to 12 feet, then the trad pole is the way. But then remember I told you earlier, if you can start adding sections to this, the price kind of gets higher, or if you take less sections, because I think the trad goes up to 8 feet, so you know the price will be cheaper on that end. But if you get like the high end of the trad pole, it becomes the M9. So just kind of like a fun fact. So but again, I would say that honestly, if I had to start all over again, I would say the Zero Micro, and then this one I would say would be something you kind of want to get later in your career, so that, you know, you can use your money on other things. For example, you know, you can get your hose reel, that's like 500 bucks for your water fed. You know, you kind of want to like be smart with your money, because yeah, I would recommend to get this, you know, this, I have it here on the side, get this hose reel, right? I think this was like 500 bucks. So already there, you know, these two is still cheaper, and it's like the perfect complement for, you know, your water fed. Well, my water fed's here, I don't know if it's in the video or not, but it's right here, my X2. So it's, yeah, I would rather say get this and your system than to spend all your money on this and don't have this, if that makes sense. So anyways, all in all, that's kind of the video that I have for today. If you have any questions, you know, leave it in the comment section down below, or feel free to message me at 626-545-3132. And yeah, I mean, I guess one last point, I guess, is that with all these in mind, I would say, do I regret now having all these extra poles? Actually not, because it's nice, because like, let's say I'm doing like a really high up window, like in the inside. It's pretty cool, because my wife actually, she might be like, let's say using the Micro, or I'll be using the Micro and she'll be using the M9, because it's really high, higher than 12. And you know, you don't want to like go and trying to like, you know, squeegee and mop, and you know what I mean, you kind of want to just do it at the same time. So I'll use both of these poles, or you know, ultralight too, depending on the circumstances. But because it's already ready to go, I already have these two ready. Actually would, let's say, go over with the mop, and then I'll use the Micro to use it with the squeegee. So you know, it's always good to never, like, if you have an extra pole, to give it up or sell it or whatever. And most importantly, like, if I hope never something were to ever happen to this, you know, I have a backup. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, I mean, all in all, it's, you know, it's an investment, but trust me, it's totally worth it. But again, you know, everyone is on a different budget. And I'll put a link to all the products down below, and if you use any of our links and purchase anything through them, it'll help us out a lot. And please, if you do purchase something, just send a message to me. Hey Andy, I purchased something through you, because I normally get like a message saying that I got an order through me, but I kind of want to say thank you, you know what I mean? So I want to at least give my appreciation that way. So anyways, it's just a quick little video that I want to make for you guys, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.